Hola, clase. What I wanted to do with a little bit of time during our help session was to show you something that I think is the best hidden gem in our Spanish class. And in my opinion, it's essentially like a free study guide for the grammar quiz and the test. After you learn the grammar, you always prepare yourself to take the grammar quiz. Well, there's this one step in between that you can utilize to practice the grammar and essentially try it out before you go on and you take the grammar quiz. And that test run in between learning the grammar and taking the quiz, to me, it's so important because you are able to correct mistakes immediately before you really make a habit out of using them. So if I were a Georgia Virtual Spanish student, what I would do is take notes on the grammar that are in the content, and then I would do the practice below the notes, and then I would get ready to take the quiz. So the only thing that you have to remember is that there are a few pages of grammar notes in each module. So don't just do it after the first practice, do it after you do all the grammar practices. So this is just an example for the 6-week students. On Monday, the 6-week students began Module 8, Los Deportes. So they actually, if you take a look here, learned, starting on page 4, some grammar. They learned the phrase with hace que, like the hacer plus que plus the time frame is, let's see, it's how students would learn how to say how long it's been since you've done something. And then on page 5, they learned direct object pronouns, and then on page 6, they learned indirect object pronouns. So we have to continue on to the next page. Starting here, we've got the lectura, escuchar. So these are our listening and our reading assignments and our practices. So on page 4, 5, and 6, we've got grammar notes. So what I would do is go to my homepage and go to the content. I am working on what chapter? It was Los Deportes for Module 8, and we are going to be completing those pages. So on page 4, we began learning some, let's see, one second. There we go. I just moved it over a little bit. On page 4, we started learning about the hacer plus que to describe how long it's been since you've done something. And below that, we've got some practices. And for those of you that have already taken the grammar quiz, notice how similar it is to the quiz. We really try to make sure that you can practice what the quiz would look like. So you would do these practices, check your answers, and it would tell you how you did. Go on to the next page. Again, we've got notes here, some more notes, a video to help us with the notes, another video, a song to help us with the notes, a summary, and then a practice. So this practice is really great, again, to practice what we would be doing on our assessments later on in this chapter. You can check your answers. There's so many options here. There are 3 different practices, and there's just so many different ways that we help you practice it. Rewrite the sentence, fill in the blank with the direct object pronoun, rewrite the entire sentence correctly by changing the direct object into a pronoun instead. And then again, check your answers. And then the last thing we did was the indirect object pronoun. So, notes, videos to help explain, songs to help us learn, and of course, the practice. So here we've got 2. So just in the few pages that we've gone through, we've learned not only 3 different concepts in grammar, but we've been able to practice exactly what it would look like on a quiz or a test. We try to mimic the pattern that you see here into your assessments. So in my opinion, that's kind of why it's that best sort of hidden gem, because you would open up your grammar quiz after taking something like these and you would say, okay, I know exactly what I'm supposed to be doing here, and there won't be any curveballs or any surprises because you have already done all of these things. And as always, let me shift a little bit. There are helpful resources here as well. So there are always going to be helpful resources on the right of the page when you're learning new grammar. All right, so hopefully that helps. And hopefully that kind of gives you one thing that you could be doing in addition to taking your notes to help you learn the grammar. Gracias y adiós.